मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ा।
Hello students, present and past, dear colleagues in department, in college. In fact, I have a strange feeling in my mind while talking to you like this. The reason for me being here now is to tell you that I am retiring on 31st of this month. In fact, I never expected such an exit for me. I had dreamt of something different. A class full of present and past students, my colleagues from the department, from the college or the hospital if they are interested. And then I would have delivered something like a last lecture. I would not have talked only about my subject, but a sort of pep talk. But the present corona pandemic has vitiated my dream. And it changed the entire scenario. In fact, it has changed the entire world. Today, our college has become a deserted place without vibrating students like you. The classrooms are empty. The staff teaching and non-teaching are busy sanitizing their hands and other things, hiding their faces behind the masks to hide their anxiety. So the whole atmosphere overall is depressed. So a direct talk to you under such circumstances is an impossibility. So I thought of a via media to communicate with you like this. My journey in this college is spreading over almost 3 decades. Before I came here, I worked in government institutes like BJ Medical College Pune, like Grand Medical College Mumbai for over 16 years. So when I came here, I had some dreams, I had some plans about establishing a department of my choice, of my design, where I can leave my signature as a legacy. Today while living, I have a feeling that I am largely successful in doing so. My long service in this college was pleasant, enjoyable, because of good students like you, committed colleagues in my department, in college, in various committees in which I worked, and in other activities which I undertook. So it was good going all the way. But as you know, all good things come to an end someday. So time has come for me to say goodbye to you people. So I'm living with heavy heart, but a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. I think the things are becoming too serious. So let me tell you a story. You know, I like stories, anecdotes, experiences to share with you people. So I will do so. So here is the story. The story runs like this. In the early part of last century, one farmer was working with his son on the outskirts of Scotland. When he heard the cries for life, he ran to a place from where the cries were coming, and he found that there was a young boy who was getting drowned in marshy, muddy land. He helped that boy out, took him to the bank, saved him. When this was happening, the father of that boy who was getting drowned came, realized what has happened. He profusely thanked the farmer and asked him what he can do for him. The farmer was a very humble person. He humbly said, he wants nothing. I've just done my duty. But the father of the boy, who happened to be a rich man, he insisted because he wanted to offer him something. But the farmer refused to take anything from that rich man. Upon this, that rich man, the father of that drowning boy, asked him, "What is the boy along with you doing?" He said, "He's my son, and he helps me in my farming work in the field." The rich man asked the farmer whether he can take that son of farmer to London to educate, to look after him. The farmer and the son looked at each other. Both were happy at this proposal. And the farmer said, "Okay." So the rich man took that son of the farmer to London along with his son, went to London, and true to his words, looked after him, educated him. Now, around 2 decades pass. Again, the son of the rich man falls ill, seriously ill, is taken to the hospital and diagnosed as a case of pneumonia. Again, his life is saved because of a magic drug in those days, penicillin. The rich man's son is okay, out of danger, out of illness. Now, to cut the story short, the son of the rich man later became Sir Winston Churchill, the future Prime Minister of England. And the penicillin, which saved the life of that rich man's son, was invented by Dr. Alexander Fleming, who happened to be the son of that farmer, who saved the life of that boy way back. So you can see the good deeds of the farmer and the rich man, both were rewarded, though little late. So the moral of this story, according to me, is twofold. Number one, keep doing good things, and all good things are rewarded, though little late. And the second moral, patience pays, always. So to translate this story in your life, I think when you enter medical practice, because you will do graduation, post-graduation, and you will enter medical profession as a career one day, and you will come in contact with many people. So just be good, do good things to them without expecting instant results. Because I know your generation is instant culture type. You like instant things like instant food, instant drinks, tea and coffee. But I'm sure you also know that the slow and steady, they win the race. You know, in present medical practice, there exists a cutthroat competition. There will be temptations, there will be slippery situations for you people during the course of the practice, but don't fall prey to them. We all take Hippocratic oath at the time of becoming registered medical practitioner. But during the course of medical practice, some people forget that code of conduct and do something that can endanger fame, name, and even their practice. So stay away from such unethical practices. Normally every year I take around 6 to 7 lectures on the topic of law in relation to medical man. This year it is not possible, you know. But I feel like sharing some words of advice, words of wisdom for you people to remember regarding ethics. See, ethics are moral principles that govern the medical practice. These ethics talk about your behavior with the patient, patient's relatives, society at large, your professional colleagues, and even the state. High standards of integrity is expected of you during tackling or encountering all these people, all these agencies. In my opinion, even today, most of the practitioners are doing a good job, a wonderful job. Even during the pandemic, which is currently faced by the world. But there are black sheep, and black sheep are everywhere. So these black sheep in medical profession, they bring some bad name to this otherwise truly a noble profession. By reading print media, by listening to the electronic media, you must be knowing that the perception of the patients, relatives, society, media, the law enforcing agencies, and even the courts about the doctors is full of suspicion. You must be hearing that the doctors are attacked, the hospitals are ransacked. These are all bad news. But I cannot go into details why it happens, how it happens. But I strongly feel that present medical professionals, they fall short in communication or developing a good rapport with the patient or the patient's relatives. I would urge you all to spend some time with patients, relatives, talk to them, answer their queries, however stupid they may sound. Imagining that you are there. This small thing will go a long way to help you in protecting and keeping you away from all those untoward things. I assure you from a huge experience that if you follow basic principles of ethics and don't indulge into current medical malpractices, you should have no fear from any corner of the world. Because I believe strongly that everything that is ethical is necessarily legal. So in short, I will advise you to remember few words. Your practice should be equated to ethical practice. Now, before I conclude, I would like to thank all the students, present and past, who enriched my life because of their experiences and achievements. My colleagues in the department, past and present. My colleagues in the college, in the hospital. My colleagues in different committees in which I worked. Because without their support and help, this journey would not have been so comfortable. Now, if I take some names, I'll be doing some injustice to many. But in spite of that, I will take two names who made my journey in this college comfortable and enjoyable. The first one is Dr. Garud, who happens to be head of the Department of Anatomy, as you know. Now, he has been with me right from my student days. We studied in the same college, BJ Medical College, Pune. We stayed in the same hostel. We started our medical teacher professional career on the same date and we found that we are passionate teachers. We worked in BJ Medical College, we worked in Grand Medical College, and now we are working in this college also for many years. Without his inputs, without his company, I could not have done many things which I think I have done well. The other name which I must take is Dr. Mandar Karmarkar, who happens to be my student from Grant Medical College, Mumbai, and my colleague in the department for almost 25 years, an asset to me and college. Without his support, I could not have brought this department to the present height in academics and administration. I also express my gratitude towards the management who wholeheartedly appreciated and supported me to develop this department absolutely from the scratch to the present state. So wish you all the success in all walks of your life and good health. Remember, life is not a race, it's a journey. So enjoy every step as I did. You know I'm a strong optimist. So God willing and health permitting, see you sometime. But until then, I'm signing off. Thank you. Goodbye. A big thank you to all. Thank you.